ANDIZI, translated, I will not come down, a stubborn focus on building a great life, written and read by Beauty Kotela. Dedication and Introduction. This book is dedicated to all those who have a holy discomfort about their assignment on this planet Earth. God is calling you to build or fix or rebuild something. This book is for all of God's children who are in the pursuit of the kind of character that will make them and their Creator proud. It is for parents, mothers and fathers, single fathers, and child headed families. It is for all those who are in the process of building or rebuilding families, thus releasing world changers into society. This book is for those in business, from those whose business is still an idea on paper, to growing businesses, to those businesses which are fully developed. It is for aspiring and seasoned business leaders and their teams. Leaders from all spheres of life, community, political, government, churches, etc., will also benefit from this book. To those who have, like Moses, been tasked with the responsibility of taking their constituency to the promised land, the strategy of Nehemiah can be of great help. Close to my heart, this book is also for management teams at institutions of learning, from rectors and vice chancellors to lecturers, principals, educators. We can all learn a thing or two from Nehemiah. In fact, students and learners themselves are also in the process of building. They too could utilize the tools contained therein. If we are to go back to that ideal expressed by Nelson Mandela about education being the most important weapon which can be used to change the world, we have to go back to the drawing board, re-examine poor building plans, our resources and our environment, and then get rebuilding. Even closer to my heart, this book is for all those Africans who have become disillusioned with the promise of freedom, to utilize their liberation and build real freedom and take it into their own hands. Ma-Africa, I believe the time has come for each of us as individual Africans and as an African community to re-examine the Africa Project. And instead of being spectators in bringing it about, to roll up our sleeves, pick up our building tools, our tools of defense, and build the kind of Africa that we would be proud to hand over to our children and grandchildren. On a global scale, we as the human race have all stood in shock as the pandemic of COVID-19 ravaged our communities, our businesses, jobs, and industries. We watched it wipe out families and affect everyone's health, leaving behind the debris of broken families and more poverty as the breadwinners died, closed businesses, and overall sickly and scared people. And so this book is also for those of us who are trying to emerge and rebuild from the COVID destruction. Lastly, this is also a book for those disappointed and tired builders. You tried business and you went bankrupt. You did have a family, but now you sit with it in tatters. You tried building, but have not succeeded yet. I say yet because if you are reading this book, you are still alive. If you are still alive, you have found grace and favor to try again. Why not now? In other words, this is a book for everyone, for all of us to adopt not only the strategy of Nehemiah and pick up the steps to follow, but to also adopt the attitude, commitment, and posture of Nehemiah, from which we learn not only how to build or rebuild, but also how to deal with discouragements and the ever present force of gravity pulling us down. We all have great projects to embark on. God be with you as you build. Introduction. All of us will remember the common question which our parents or uncles or aunts asked us when we were young. What do you want to be when you grow up? Without hesitation, I would answer, I want to be a doctor. So did my friends. Although some would want to be lawyers, nurses, and pastors, there was something about doctors that made all of us want to be like them. So all of the other careers would often be in addition to being a doctor. Today, despite the existence of a vast number of career options to choose from, doctors still come up tops among the answers that young ones give for career options. Although I must admit, they also do choose other careers whose names did not even exist in our time. Now, the point here is not about career choices, but to emphasize the fact that all of us, The minute we became conscious of the fact that we were on this planet Earth living this life, we wanted to live a great life. So doctors at that time seemed to represent what we believed was a great life. They looked good in their white coats. They seemed to live in nice homes, had beautiful families, and they were our heroes because they were helping people. Doctors, without them consciously doing so, reminded us, and still do so, of what I believe is a God planted meaning of this life: to emulate God, serve others, and make a meaningful contribution to society. In fact, if you consider the creation of human beings, after God finished putting us together, the first thing he did was breathe life into the lifeless body of the first human, Adam. Therefore, we, as the descendants of Adam, have in us the very breath of the Creator God. In this act of creation, God also planted in each and every one of us the desire to also create, the desire to build, the desire to make a meaningful contribution in this world. God did not stop there. He went further to command us as humans: be fruitful and multiply, fill the earth and govern it, reign over the fish in the sea, the birds in the sky, and all the animals that scurry along the ground. Genesis 1:28. So we have a God-given mandate, using the resources at our disposal, powered by his grace, to do something great, to build something beautiful, and to contribute meaningfully to society. Present at that creation event was God the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, together with an army of angels to usher us into this world, to get us started on our building project. There was, however, another group present at the same event: our eternal enemy, the devil, and his armies, ready to counteract whatever God put in place on that day. He wasted no time in reaching our very first parents, Adam and Eve. What the enemy, however, could not cancel was that which God had placed in us as humans: our power to create, a power that is akin to that of our Creator. So at best, the enemy will thwart, he will delay. The Creator was, however, not going to step aside and let the enemy have his way. So he sent Jesus, who would later remind us in John 10, verse 10, I have come that they might have life and have it abundantly. And I will boldly say that all of us want that life, that abundant life, that looking good, raising beautiful families and beautiful homes and changing people's lives, creating thriving communities, building great businesses, etc. The truth of the matter, however, is that such a life does not come by osmosis. You do not wake up one day and there is a courier company at the door to give you this abundant life that Jesus spoke about. We all have to build that life. And that building process begins very early. From the moment we are born, we start the process of building. The bad news, however, continues in the same verse of John 10, verse 10, the first part. The thief comes to steal, to kill, and destroy. In other words, the process of building our lives, our characters, will not come without opposition. There is still that force whose sole purpose is to stop you from building, whose sole purpose is to call you down from the project of building your life. Therefore, if you are going to pursue your God-given building project, you are going to have to deal with the call downs of the enemy. The purpose of this book is to identify some of those forces calling us down, to unveil the mechanism utilized, and to give you tools of relentlessness so that you can remain building. The conversation contained in this book also comes at a time when the whole world is emerging from the devastation of the coronavirus that started ravaging our lives from the beginning of 2020. This means that while some, perhaps the young ones among us, are building their new projects, the rest of us are busy rebuilding our lives after the devastation caused by COVID-19. Either way, whether you are building something new or rebuilding, we are all busy builders. So gather all your tools and your armor. Let us build, or let us rebuild.